It's a very rare person that can be surrounded by those who reject the faith or reject a certain idea or way of life, and they maintain the one that they originally came from.
Being involved in Greek life and the Newman Center, the spectrum of college life, and how you can live a life of, drinking and partying all the time, and then also people who are going to Mass every single day, and there's a big range. So it's super important to have this place here on campus, and everyone that's walking to class or driving across campus has a visual reminder every day, of Jesus and the church.
People step foot in this Newman Center, it is almost kind of like an inspiring sense where it's like, every day, all day, Jesus is literally upstairs. And I think that motivates people to, really want to encourage and have people be here, because there's nowhere else that you can experience that. And I think Christ is the motivation that really pushes everyone here.
So I was cradle Catholic, raised Catholic my entire life, and I've always gone to Sunday Mass, and I've always prayed. But now it's like, I understand that the Lord yearns for you. He is sitting up in the chapel waiting for you, not just everybody. He's sitting there being please, Abby, come visit me today.
So I'm not from Missouri, I'm from Peoria, Illinois, and I came here and basically within 2 weeks met most of the friends that I have made in Missouri, and they are still my friends. It's probably the realest community I've had in my life. I've had friends before, but I've never been to an actual place, an actual institution that had a real feeling of family. It was funny, the first dollar dinner I was there, one of the missionaries at the time, Joe Fromelt, invited me to sit with him, and I did, and we chatted, and then the next dollar dinner, Phil introduced me to some guys, and it took off from there. You might go to other places and people say, oh, hello, how you doing, that kind of thing. But I've had people here that actually how's life really going, and then they, we talk about, victories, we talk about struggles, and they're like, you need me to hold you accountable. You want me to pray? That's another big one too, is, hey, do you want me to pray with you for that? Phil will do that. I've had a lot of friends here that do that too. They're like, why don't we just invite the Lord into this struggle for a minute? That kind of Christ-like quality of not just checking in with people, but really digging down, how are you doing? And is there something I can do for you? That I think makes the community here markedly different than other places.
This previous year, I was asked to co-lead our Awakening retreat. It was an incredible opportunity for growth. I grew so much in preparing everything for the retreat. And then the actual retreat itself was just as giving, or just as amazing as any other retreat I've been on. I asked a friend of mine to go on this retreat, just expecting him to say no. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen, but he said yes, and then it just started his faith journey, and he's going to become Catholic this Easter. So it's just been an incredible opportunity.
And it's funny enough, I feel like all stories are like this, but it was the Awakening retreat, and I was not going to go. Everybody kept talking about it, but I feel like it is not my thing. It is cheesy, it is a retreat. I don't do this whole emotions thing, I was just everything about it. And they kept prodding, and I was not gonna do it. Literally the weekend before it happened, they were closing registrations. They're like, we got to sign up. I don't even know what happened, and I'm like, all right, I'll sign up. I ended up having my schedule cleared, and I went to it, and I remember that first night being like, this was the biggest mistake I've ever made. I remember laying down to go to bed that night and being like, oh man, I hate that I signed up for this. I'm so out of my element, so out of my thing. And then the next day, it was kind of one piece at a time, things kind of started to feel right. And then we had adoration that night, and it's and I've had powerful moments in adoration before. I've had powerful, I know that's Jesus and I believe it, but something about the speaker we had that night and the way that Jesus was presented, and being around people who really knew that was Jesus and really felt it and was completely life-changing. Literally, I want to say has probably utterly changed my life, not in a cheesy way or anything, but I came back with such a love for the Eucharist. I literally was looking forward going to Mass, and I never had that before. I kind of thought it was a chore, it was an obligation, and I don't even know what it was about it, other than maybe that was the moment that Jesus decided that I needed to be, turned to Him. But the Awakening retreat literally changed my entire perspective on Jesus Christ. Before that, I would have said I was Catholic because of all the reasons, all the facts, all the data that backed it up. Now I can solidly say I'm Catholic because of the Eucharist. And I think that was a really powerful thing for me.
Those classes might have been like the biggest impact, honestly, because knowing the truth is what really influences my spiritual life. And so through the different classes, it's like God is way bigger than I realized. And I tend to be the type of person that wants to like be perfect and wants to just be able to do everything on my own. One of the classes was specifically about grace. And so I learned what grace was and what a gift it is, because grace is like getting to participate in God's divine nature. And it's like, oh, that's like way better than if I was able to do this on my own. Like, it's way better that I'm weak and that I need God and I need His grace than if I was strong and able to do it on my own, but I didn't get to participate in His divine nature. Seeing other people's faith is like, oh, this is actually like legit. Like, living for God is the way to live. And seeing the way other people trust Him and how their relationship with Him is what influences their decisions and what influences who they choose to spend the rest of their life with, and their whole morality, how they choose to live. That just is like, it's contagious. And you can't help but want to be like them, because they live the truth. They live in the entirety of the truth, and they're living with joy. And it's just a whole lot different than any other community I've ever been a part of.